So maybe you have seen dogs walking around outside wearing boots, or a service dog in a store at a major theme park wearing boots. And you wonder, do dogs even need boots? How do they get them to wear boots? Well, you come to the right place. Hey, I'm Casey, and this is my service dog Elsa. I have a passion for training dogs, and today I'm going to tell you all about dog boots. Like, why do dogs wear dog boots? How to size and choose your dog boots, and most importantly, how to get your dog to wear dog boots. I'm going to try to keep everything very short, but still keeping it very informative. If you're only interested in one part of this video, go ahead and check the description down below for chapter notes for the part that you're interested in. Alright, let's get started. So why do dogs wear dog boots? Well, it's basically for the same reason you or I wear shoes. To protect our feet from the elements, either super hot or super cold, also some foreign objects and some chemicals that could be on the ground. So if it's super cold outside, dog boots serve as protection from ice, snow, and the chemicals used to melt them on sidewalks and roads. During the summer months, and even though it's not too bad out here right now, even if the air temperature is just around 77, asphalt can get up to 125 degrees. Going up to more of a summer day of 86, the asphalt can rise up to 135 degrees. And even just 1 degree above that, the air temperature being 87 degrees outside, the asphalt can get all the way up to 143 degrees. Just to give you some perspective on that, an egg can be boiled in 5 minutes at 131 degrees. And skin destruction can be caused at only 125 degrees within 60 seconds. I'm sure glad I'm wearing shoes right now. Okay, so now you know why dogs wear dog boots. Let's go over how to choose dog boots and sizing for it. Although one thing I do want to mention real quick is I personally believe for working dogs and service dogs especially, who have like an ever-changing schedule and go places that normal pets do not, I almost feel as it's necessary for those working dogs to own a pair of dog boots. And so that's why the majority of this video is tuned towards them. I believe your average pet parent can move their schedule around for like walking their dog to the early morning or late afternoons when the pavement's not that hot. Although you definitely will have some benefits on teaching your pet and having a good pair of dog boots for them, going to outdoor pet-friendly events and not having to worry about them burning their paws and keeping them protected. It definitely opens up a lot more stuff you can do with them during the summer months. Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that real quick, but let's go on to sizing. So the first thing you want to keep in mind is the style of the dog boot. There's a couple different styles out there. I would say there's about 2 you can separate them by, which is basically the working actual dog boot and more of the stylistic kind of dog boot. And you'll see these style ones in more like big box pet stores. And they look really cute, look like little teeny human shoes. But if you haven't noticed, our feet are nothing like our dogs. So they require a different style of shoe. These shoes are fine if you put them on. And the dog's just standing in them. It's generally no big deal, especially a lot of them are very pliable, so there's not too much of a deal. But some of them are pretty stiff and they hold their dog's foot in that kind of upright position. And for most pet owners, no big deal because they put them on the boot. The dogs hate them, they take them off, no damage done to the dog. But if you think about it, because our feet are shaped nothing like our dog's feet, when your dog lays down or tries to sit in these boots, it holds your dog's paw at a very awkward angle. And it could potentially like damage like the wrist in their paw, in their bones if they're wearing them for long periods of time, which typically they are not. So it's really no big deal. Again, for the purpose of looking cute, they're on for maybe 2 seconds for a picture and they come off, no big deal. For actually protecting your dog's paw against asphalt and other surfaces, these are not going to do anything. So what you actually want to look for in a dog boot is one that looks a little bit more like a sock. There's a couple brands out there. The one I have and the one I like to use is Roughwear. It's a big name brand. They make great outdoor dog gear. They have a couple different models. I have the Grip Tech style, as you can see here. Another one I like, which I actually started it with, is more of the Roughwear knockoff kind of brand that you can find on eBay or Amazon. They look very similar to the Roughwear ones, but when owning both pairs, you can tell the quality difference in the Roughwear ones are totally better than the knockoffs. But the knockoffs are great for starting out with a younger dog or getting your dog used to them, because they are also a lot softer than the Roughwear ones. Other brands are Kroger makes a good one, and Muttlux also makes a couple good dog boots that are that sock type of shape. Speaking about socks, you can actually put socks in dog boots as well to make them a little bit more comfortable. I would say when you're first starting out, you don't need to do this. It's a lot more fuss. Definitely once you have a pair of actual Roughwears, the quality difference is really uncomparable. The other ones wear out very quickly, and these are just really, really nice quality boots. The only thing is they are quite stiff when you first get them, and I like to kind of break them in. They have like a break-in period, like I guess human shoes do. So one thing I did is right where the bend point is, where their wrist is going to bend the shoe. When they are standing, I will bend it a lot right here to kind of break in the material. At first it's very, very stiff when you first get them. These are pretty pliable because I've used them for so long and they still look fantastic. But at first I will help her break them in by kind of just squeezing them like this and breaking the fabric in a little bit. Another thing that I do, which is definitely not necessary, because I don't think a lot of people do it, but it makes sense to me, so I do it, is I actually mark my shoes so that they go on the same foot every time. Our dog's feet are all a little different. It's not uncommon when you start to measure your dog's feet that you'll notice maybe the back 2 feet of your dog is actually smaller than the front feet. Which is a nice thing about Roughwear. They sell them in pairs. I think a couple of the other companies do as well. But you can buy 2 larger for the fronts and 2 smaller for the back. So what I do, actually on the strap here, it's kind of colored in right in this design area. That tells me that this is a back paw. So I kind of just color in a solid line. And then right here next to the Velcro, I put a little R. This one's the right side, so I know when I pick this boot up that this is the rear right foot. Again, marking them, not exactly necessary. Most people just throw these on their dog every time, but I actually like to put them on the same foot every time. I think it does help with them getting, broken in and stuff like that to the foot that it's assigned to. So yeah, it's a little something weird that I do, but I think it's worth the extra 10 seconds it takes to put the dog boot on to make it more comfortable for her. So measuring your dog's paw for a set of boots is actually really simple. You just want to get like a pad of paper. I just have like a sketch pad right here. But you can just get a piece of paper. It does help to have it like on a clipboard or something like that so it doesn't move quite as easily. And then you just want a pin that works really well. The ballpoint pins, like the one I just picked up right now, sometimes have a tendency to skip a little bit if you're writing lightly, so make sure you do have a good one. It is going to help you out a lot. You can use a Sharpie. Just make sure if the paper you're using is thick enough so you don't draw onto your tile or hardwood floor or concrete, whatever hard surface you're going to be tracing onto, that your paper is thick enough, or you have a clipboard underneath so that the Sharpie does not bleed through. And also keep in mind, you use a Sharpie, you might get some of it on your dog. So use a pen. You don't want to really use it, have a too thick of a pen, so you don't want to go around like with this big old Sharpie, because you're not going to get that accurate of a measurement because how thick the pen is. So you kind of want it as thin as you can get, but you want a nice writing pen that is not going to skip or not draw for you easily. So go ahead and find one of those, grab a piece of paper, and I'll show you how to measure. Alright, so you got your pen and paper, and you're going to go ahead and place it on the ground on a nice flat surface, so your kitchen tile or hardwood floor or something like that, so it's nice and flat. Some tips if you're having a little bit of trouble getting your dog to stay still or put weight on their paw, because you do want them to have weight on their paw when you are tracing so that you get an accurate measurement. Is you can take your dog for a walk first to make sure they're a little bit tired if they're kind of a hyper dog. Another thing you could do is by lifting the opposite paw. This helps them stay still a little bit and put pressure on the paw that you're tracing. Another thing, I do recommend that you trace all 4 of your dog's paw. It will give you a little bit more accurate of a measurement just because you'll have the 2 fronts and the 2 backs. Depending on your dog, they could be all the same size, or your 2 backs can be actually very commonly smaller than your 2 front paws. But between the 2 paws, you can get a good estimate of what size your dog's paw is. And don't be afraid to do it twice, depending on how cooperative your dog is with you tracing around their paws. Okay, and then next you're going to do is just look at the tracing of your dog's paw. Make sure that when you do trace your dog's paw that you go ahead and mark which paw you traced, mainly front and backs, but you can do left and right if you would like to kind of just remind you what side is which. Then go ahead and find the widest part of your dog's paw and kind of like draw like a flat line helps to figure out where the widest part is, and go ahead and just measure between those 2, and that's going to give you a good measurement for measuring your dog's paw. Most boots are going to size this way. There are a couple boots that size the other way or that take into account both sizings, but the main one you will need is this straight across width, and you are going to want to size up always, of course. So if your dog's in between sizes, you definitely going to want to go ahead and upsize. It's better to have a little bit of extra room in the dog shoe versus it being too tight. And then once you have your measurement, go ahead and go to Google and type in a couple of the brands, check the brands out, see which one you like. If you're interested in the knockoff rough wear boot, just go to eBay or Amazon, and generally if you type in outdoor dog boots, it will pop up eventually in the feed. Alright, so the last thing, you got your dog boots now? Now how do you train your dog to wear them? Well, that's the question. It's actually very, very easy. Really, you just have to associate these with something good. You can start by just putting the back paws on, or you can put all 4 on. It depends on how distracted your dog is by them, whether you start with 1, 2, 3, or all 4 boots. And simply, you're going to put them on and you're going to do something your dog loves. If your dog loves going for a walk, put them on, go for a walk. If your dog loves treats, put them on, give them a whole bunch of treats, do a little mini training session, and give them like high value treats. Or if your dog loves to play fetch, like this girl down here, put them on and go to the park and play some fetch. It really doesn't take long before they figure out that these, no big deal. Are you going to get your dog a pair of dog boots now? Let me know in the comments below. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to hit thumbs up. And if you want to see more service dog videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button over there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!